The Endsars is a decentralized social movement accompanied by a series of mass protests against police brutality in Nigeria. The protests, which took its name from a Twitter campaign using the hashtag Endsars, demanded the disbanding of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SARS), a notorious unit of the Nigerian police with a long record of abuses. After experiencing a revitalization in October 2020, following more revelations of the abuses of the unit, mass demonstrations occurred in major cities of the country, accompanied by outrage on social media platforms. The protest was notable for its patronage by a demography of predominantly young Nigerians. Some of them recount their experience.
I participated because I believed that it was a right cause. It was something that we all were concerned about. We knew that our lives were not safe. We entrusted our lives to the people that we pay from the collective taxes that we all pay to government, and they were not literally doing what we had asked them to do. So participating was important to me because participating was not because I wanted a regime change or I wanted to just paint the Nigerian police as a bad institution, but we wanted to send a message to the police and to the government that when an institution fails to live out its core meaning and its mandate, the people can come together and protest and reform it.
While the Endsars protest was hugely peaceful and organized, it suddenly turned violent following allegations that security officials aided the attack on protesters. As the protest was hijacked, there were attacks on protesters by rival groups, attacks on security personnel, and installations, burning of government and private property, large-scale looting, and even inter-ethnic violence. This is the popular Apo Mechanic Village. It became the epicenter of violence in the FCT. We speak to some of the victims.
Honestly, we were here opening up our business. All of a sudden, we saw people rushing down. The next thing we see is butchers of cars and putting petrol and burning the cars. So we have to escape to run for our life first. So at the end of the day, we now come out from bush. We find out that all the whole car here has turned to ashes. That is exactly what happened.
Like how many cars, looking back right now?
Honestly, looking back, the car that burned here is more than exactly 20-something cars that burned here.
Maybe a week after or 2 weeks after when the thing happened, the minister himself came. Say he came to condole with us and give us the assurance that at least whatever may be government, we try to intervene to make sure that there are losses doesn't go like that. It just to make sure that it's put something in our table, which we all are excited that very day for hearing such statement from the minister. And we are so excited. We welcome the idea. Then maybe after all, he told us that very day that he was going to set up the committee. The committee had to give him the feedback what is exactly happened that very day. And thank God the committee came, headed by the Nema DJ, something like that. He came with his entourage, the check, everything. Even that very day, I was even telling them, let them go around to see the level of the devastation. But they say it is obvious to them that they have seen something by themselves. Up to now, the only thing we are hearing that is some process. Up to this moment, I'm even speaking to you. Up to this moment, we have not got anything. And it's most pathetic story of it that one of our members, I lost him April 12th. But just like because the debts are so overwhelming. Even me, as I'm standing, I'm just trying to summon courage. Because when the debtor started calling every day, he cannot bear it. He was just sleep and couldn't wake up.
We approached the Nigeria police for comments on the protests and aftermath, the promised reforms, and what the force is doing to compensate some of the officers who suffered losses. However, our request for an interview was turned down. The violence led to interventions by civil society groups, international community, and well-meaning Nigerians. Lawrence Alobi is a retired commissioner of police and a member of the FCT Eminent Persons Forum on Peace and Security. The group was part of the conflict resolution process.
The Endsars it has its advantages and disadvantages. The advantages of the police, and interestingly, the Endsars protests were concerned about the police reform. And police reform also improving the welfare of the police. So it was good for the police. But you see, the police is there like it is the orientation is a police regime protection. And Mr. President has promised some of this, of course, what he promised to enforce. He said the police that they are going to see about police reform, and they're going to see about also ensuring that all that the issue of SARS is disbanded and other things. Another thing Mr. President promised. But again, police reform, how realistic? They'll be having various sorts of committees that with reforms. The Mandami, MD Yusuf, Parende, and others who have recommended a lot of recommendations. They're already shelved. I took part in a committee that addressed the issue of policing and security in 2030. We did with in fact, it was anchored on that by the Minister of Defense. I was one of those. But all these recommendations are normally end up in the shelf. The point is not just when we talk about police reform, not just it to be real reform, not cosmetic. Real reform in the sense that what does the police need? Reform is based on need. Police need to be well funded. Police need to be well equipped. Police need to be well motivated. Police need to be well trained. They need to reorientate their perception and attitude of policing. Right now, that mentality of brutality, you're using force, is unnecessary. Policing is people's needs driven, and you endear yourself to the people by your effort and your action. So why today? That's why things have actually not moved better. Though now, the point is that the policeman leadership too has a role to play. Because leadership determines followership. So the issue of brutality and police hard-headedness issue, I'm sure the present IG, I'm told, is handling it. And I wish he should actually pursue it seriously.
While the federal and state governments have set up commissions to review complaints of police brutality, far-reaching reforms is being advocated to prevent similar crises from reoccurring